Ciao, buongiorno a tutti ragazzi. Thank you for joining us again on Inter Worldwide. It honestly feels like forever since it's been a legit conversation of fixture, but I'm just happy to be joined by some good friends. Christian Rivas, how are you, bro?
Another day in paradise.
That's it, man. Mario Gagliano, how you doing? Looking good?
Chilling.
Awesome. Derby della Madonnina. A fair bit of hype around this one, but mostly bombarded by the whole COVID restrictions, self-isolating, whatever you want to call it. That's going to be plaguing not just one but both sides. Inter with the shitter end of the deal at the moment. But I'm reading today that it remains to be seen that Bastoni and Skriniar can still take another test, possibly. And then if that comes up negative, they're actually free to play the derby, but they'd be at risk at only having one training session. I'll start with you this time, Mario. What are your initial thoughts going into the derby regarding the whole COVID restriction on certain members of players' squads?
I don't know. It's gonna be weird because we had I don't even know, 5 cases or something like that. 6 cases.
Yeah.
6 cases. So it's alarming at first. So you're just like, all right, what's gonna happen? Are we gonna play? Are we not gonna play? Are they gonna make us quarantine and not leave the city like they did with Napoli? Are they gonna give you about more points again? No, but it should be a good game. All our players are coming off of international duty, which is always exciting to see them potentially get hurt. But Milan's decent for the first time in a while, so we'll see how it goes. Should be all right.
Should be all right. Rivas, first initial thoughts before we go into more depth. How you feel and just approaching the fixture?
Well, I mean, Mario brought up the whole COVID thing, but to me, it's not much of a big deal, except for Bastoni and Skriniar. That's about it. Bastoni and Skriniar might be able to make it because they reduced the quarantine from 14 days to 10 days now under City Out rules, as long as you test negative. Yeah, I mean, I think we should be able to get this fifth derby win in a row. I mean, it's going to be a hard fought match. Milan's still Milan. I mean, like Mario said, this is probably the best Milan there's been in maybe a decade now. I think the last decent Milan was 2011. So,
Yeah, around
it
about
should
then.
be
I
a good
think
game.
should be. In terms of fans, they'll still allow certain amounts of fans in there, but kind of just like what you've seen the first few games in the country. I'm pretty excited just to see how these boys actually turn up because this is going to really call on some of these players to get motivated because it's a very demotivating season. It's a very demotivating year for all humans and all athletes. So I want them to rise to the occasion like it's still the same level of a derby that it always will be. I think De Vrij will be very, very important. I didn't catch the whole game today, but I managed to watch a fair few of the extended highlights of Italy's poor-ish performance against the Netherlands. And, De Vrij is De Vrij, man. It's as simple as that. But more importantly, I think Barella was also fantastic. Got 90 minutes as well as pretty much most of Inter's players on international duty did get. Go figure. But he was instrumental as well. So as usual, I'm going to say that De Vrij and Barella are probably our most important two players that aren't obviously looking to get on the score sheet. Although De Vrij from set pieces, man, he's always there and about. And Barella loves a good hit as well. It's good to see that Lukaku and Lautaro got through their international fixtures unscathed, so they can both start as well. Alexis and Vidal, it was a very physical game against Colombia. Rivas can tell us a bit more about that when I throw over to him. But Vidal and Alexis Sanchez did their thing, Rivas, and despite taking a couple of knocks before halftime, they both walked out of the stadium looking healthy. So to have Vidal and Sanchez at our disposal, good shit, yeah?
Yeah, no, I agree. Any South American, Central, and North America game is always going to be very physical. I mean, you're not going to see much football because there's going to be a bunch of fouls that aren't getting called. Mario will attest to that as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know how it is, Mario. Hey, you play in Latin America, it is what it is. Get ready to get beat up. I mean, that's just the way we play. Play
They
very
chop
rough.
everybody.
Yeah, chop your legs, fuck it, get used to it. But I mean, it's good to see Vidal come back. Remember the last game he got subbed off. He took a little knock there, and he's still going good. It's good to see him and Alexis. The thing that's going to be interesting is how we line up this coming week. I mean, if Bastoni makes it back, you can look at a back three of Kolarov, Derived, Bastoni. If he doesn't,
Mhm.
then you're looking more of a Kolarov, Fry, and the Ambrosio back three, which I'm okay with. You know, the midfield's kind of the area where I'm curious how we're going to start off. So I don't know if Mario got any ideas for that.
Well, I was going to throw over to Mario next because his boy Christian Eriksen played his 100th game for Denmark and got a nice little goal right at the end. One of those, yeah, did I get that figure right, Rivas? Was
Yep.
it his 100th game? Yeah,
100.
cool. And then, yeah, got a nice goal at the end and hopefully into this game as well. There was another mistranslated article, as there always is with Ericsson, that tried to make it sound a lot more negative than it was a couple of days ago, where he said he's hoping that he's not sitting on the bench throughout the whole of autumn. But I think it's just a sign that he still wants to play and integrate himself to the team. So I've still got faith in him. Mario, would you start Ericsson in the derby, his first derby?
I would start him. He's a world class player, regardless of whatever
Sorry.
you think he is, or whatever Conte thinks he is. He played 2 games with Denmark. He scored 2 goals, I believe.
Three.
Three, 3 goals
Thank
in
you.
2 games. So
Mm.
one against England and then two against was it Bosnia or some shit like that?
No, it wasn't Bosnia.
It
It was
wasn't Bosnia. I forget now.
yeah, I
Whatever. But
forgot.
the other game he scored 2 goals, but he's in form. He's still on top of his game. So we have to
Iceland.
Iceland. Yes, you got to capitalize on that. You got to use that momentum. Give him the confidence that you're on this team. We signed you for in the transfer window, and we want you to be in our midfield. You put him with Vidal and like a Barella, good things are gonna happen. They're gonna work for him if he's not gonna pull the weight. He's gonna be the finesse guy. He's gonna play the ball through. He's gonna find Lukaku. He's gonna find Lautaro. He's gonna spray the ball. He's gonna create chances. He could be the most important piece to our attack, but he's got to play. He has to freaking
That
play.
man's that man's gonna be the X factor. In my opinion, I agree with Mario there. Barella and Ericsson should start the derby. Again, Vidal's gonna dominate that midfield. He's gonna take the midfield by the
Mm-hmm.
balls. And I don't think Milan has anybody that can match up against Vidal's quality. Don't give me
No,
that Tonali shit because Tonali isn't on the level of Vidal. Yeah, he's a good
no.
young prospect, and I know everybody's been oozing their balls over him. But let's just be real, Vidal's a fucking champion. You don't. There's certain mentalities that you have and certain mentalities that you don't have. And Tonali does not have that winning mentality yet because he hasn't won shit. Just like Conte said, he didn't want a team of just players coming from Cagliari and Sassuolo, no knock to Sensi and Barella. But when you got a player like Vidal who's won it at Barca, Bayern, and Juve, the man has that mentality to just go out there and win and fight for every ball. This goes back to my whole assessment about the Europa League finals. You knew who's won a game, who's won a title, and who didn't. You saw Ashley Young and my boy Godin fighting the whole match, while you see everybody else who's never been in that type of game with their heads down. So again, a player like Vidal, I don't think Milan has a player to match that quality in their midfield.
All right, well said, bro. In terms of Milan's players, good thing that you went there. I think their biggest loss that no one's talking about is not having Ante Rebic on that flank. I think him not playing is going to present a much less threat for us because a lot of the ball would be moved through that left-hand side, our right wing, our right centre back position. Which, if it was D'Ambrosio, hey man, I'd be all for D'Ambrosio starting this derby as well because he knows the true value of the game and the shirt, and he's probably going to prop up and score a goal. But
Mm-hmm.
even you guys admitted like he is shaky still at the right centre back on the defensive end. I truly think Rebic would have been the only player that could actually threaten him in that position. So if Rebic is out, I'm happy that Danilo can be, and that doesn't really bother me too much. Leave Ibrahimovic to De Vrij and whoever's on his left. In terms of who replaces him, probably Rafael Leao, who is, half decent in his own way, but also has many inconsistencies about him, still young, has a lot of ego attached to him as well, and actually plays a little bit better more centrally, in my opinion, than he does picking it up deeper in a flank role. I don't see too much of the threat there. For me, it's all about Ibra. It's all about Kessier and possibly Tonali, but I really hope not. I hope this is the kind of game that puts him on the gronk so much that even I can step back and go, I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this
I mean,
decision from the club. Where do you think the threats are coming from, Christian?
honestly, though, I wouldn't be surprised if Milan did a 4-4-2, like you just said. Leao plays very well behind Ibra in a more central position, so it would make sense for them to go with a 4-4-2 and not have Leao out on the wing because he can't do what Rebic did. You're
No
absolutely
way.
right. He's better. He's better central. That being said, going down to that left wing, I I don't think anybody could match up and really give D'Ambrosio that much trouble for him to be concerned. You also got to remember that the man Hakimi is going to be there. So whatever player is on that flank knows that he's going to have to take into account of Hakimi's counter-attacking speed. As soon as we get the ball and play it down to him, he's off to the races. For Milan, in terms of who I'm worried about, I'm not really worried about anybody. Ibra, he always has that presence, but in the same sense, he's still Ibra, I guess you can say, but he's still like 39 years old, almost 40, ain't he? So I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not too concerned of him. It's not like it's old school Ibra. Kessier, I mean, he's okay, but like honestly, if you put Barella, he'll strap him up. Tonali, I mean, honestly, what has Tonali done this season? I mean, everybody was bitching that he didn't get called up to the national team, but what has he done this season? Like, honestly speaking, what has he done to deserve that call up right now? I mean, he
I'll
went
tell
to the
you what he's done.
U21s.
He gets
What's he done?
5.5 ratings from Gazzetta.
5.5. That's it. They
Yeah,
didn't give him a 4.5 because his last performance was absolute dog shit.
they might have.
Anybody that
He's been bad.
he's been bad at Milan. It's one of those things where he didn't fit Milan, but hey, Milan, I don't blame him. Now you just gotta mold him into the player you want, and you either adjust your squad to him, or it's gonna be money wasted. I mean, it's still 35, 40 mil. But looking at that Milan team, they got Romagnoli back, they got Donnarumma.
He's being rushed back,
Honestly,
to be honest, Romagnoli.
yeah,
He's being rushed back.
Hmm.
I'm kind of worried about that because again, a lot of people might not rate him, but I still rate him as a pretty good quality defender. Uh, there's not many Italians better than him. I still think that Bonucci and Chiellini are done and they should be out of the national team, and you should be having players like Romagnoli, Bastoni, and these other guys step up. I mean, that's neither here or there, but Milan in itself is going to be a good game. I still got us coming out 3-1.
Cool. I like it. Bookies have got us as slight favorites. Mario, what are you predicting?
Nobody really touched on this, but like the only other real threat, Teo Hernandez.
Right.
Well, I was
But
gonna say Theo because Theo on the left side is nice, but in the same sense, I don't think he's gonna push up because he's got to worry about Hakimi. He
exactly,
cannot attack with Hakimi there.
yeah,
It's
because
just that's their best player. Hands down.
Hakimi's gonna
That's
be going
Milan's best player.
up and down, and if you want to go up and then we catch him on the counter, he's gone, and
He's in.
he's like our focal point almost at times. So how many times have
That's
we
some
seen
real
that
shit.
ball from Brozovic or Barella or Sensi or whoever played it from the middle, a diagonal ball right through the defense, and then Hakimi one touch Lukaku goal. It's
Wouldn't
happened
it be
many
awesome to
times
see
already.
Hakimi grab a goal and an assist? This derby would be phenomenal.
Honestly
Yeah.
speaking, though, I wish Hakimi would be integrated a little bit more by the midfield. Not saying that they're not, but I want to see more balls on Hakimi. I want to see him pull out the center back. I want to see them start trying to put two men on him because you got to remember, a player like Hakimi, he could take two players on or three players on and still get something done. The kid's magical, bro. Like, let's be serious. The kid he's a baller. You know what I mean? Like, I feel the midfield should be looking more for him. Play the ball over the top, let him chase it down, get it, and he's going to create space for Lukaku because he's going to pull that center back towards him. You're going to see them shift players over, and he's going to create more space. So Hakimi is critical in this, and like Mario said, he's probably the best left back last year in
Yeah.
all of City A. Like, I don't care what anybody says, he was legitimately the best left back in City A last year. Give the man his credit, give him his respect.
He might be
That
the only
being-
person that can stop Hakimi.
But see, the only reason I would
He
say that is
might
because
be.
they both kind of played with each other at
They
Madrid.
complement each other.
They do, but I don't think Theo has the speed to match Hakimi.
Nah.
And Theo
Nah.
No?
defensively is not that solid to
Mm.
match Hakimi. You get what I mean?
I got you.
They'll offensively, the kid is lights out. He's a baller.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Typical Madrid product. You get what I mean?
Hmm.
But in the same sense, Theo is still the best left back
Oh
last
yeah.
season. Now this season, it's a different story. We don't know yet. Season just started, but you gotta give the kid his credit and respect.
Mm. Fair enough. Mario, what was your prediction, man?
Uh, I'm gonna go like a 2-1. We win. Keep it close.
Cool.
Fifth
Cool.
Derby win in a row.
I'm gonna stick with the optimism and say we do win, and hopefully it will be 3-1. Two depth, and Milan push up way too hard with some stupid number on the clock, like 95 or 96 on it, and we get that goal on the break right on the whistle to make it 3-1. Lukaku is gonna score a goal at some point in this game because
Yep.
he's just got that in his DNA. And I love the fact that we've got a striker who can sometimes play shit for 88 minutes and just gets hungrier and hungrier to find the goal, and he's going to get it. 42 goals in his last 44 games for Belgium as well. The man just knows how to find the net. It's not if and or but, it's an absolute. So he's going to score again. That's all for Derby talk, man. So I'm pretty excited. It's hard, boys, to take this season seriously at the moment because of everything that's going on and whatnot. And then you have decisions like the Napoli Juventus one this morning. So I just wanted to finish off with that. Rivas, what was your reaction to all that result, man? And do you think Napoli appealing it will go anywhere?
I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. My thing about this is, look, I mean, I hate to say it and be the one to pop everybody's bubble, but I
ADL's an
agree with
idiot
the
and he messed
league.
up.
Nah, like I agree with the league in the fact that these rules were set before it happened. You know what I mean? They were set that if you have 13 players that can play, you got to play. Everybody
No,
agreed to it. All right. The thing I didn't agree with was Napoli getting a point deduction. They should have just took the 3 points and that was it, and given the 3-0 loss. That's it. You don't need to deduct a point from them. They already had enough bullshit with this. Juve, if they get some shit for them this weekend, then the league is some fucking trash. They got Ronaldo out and McKinney out. They're both under COVID isolation. So again, the league better not pull some shit. And that's probably honestly why they put the game at 2:45. There's no fucking reason that Crotone Juve should be prime time over Atalanta Napoli. Let's just be fucking real. I mean, again, like I said, in my opinion, I don't have an issue with it.
Yeah, cool. Mario, you?
I don't agree with it. I think that the whole thing got really blown up out of Napoli's hands. Because if you look at the whole thing that happened, it's not that they couldn't get 13 players to travel to the game. They had 13 players. They were mandated by
They weren't apparently though.
they
Apparently
were.
it came out. No,
So
it
that's
came
what you
out.
got to ask. Who knows the
It
truth?
came
There's always
out.
alternate opinions out of this
It
freaking
came
country.
out. It came out from Napoli official, from city officials in Naples. They recommended. They never mandated. They were still able to fly. They were still able to do that, and that's the only reason why I didn't have an issue with it. I mean, I still think they should have replayed it because how big of a game it is. But in the
Mm.
same sense, where do you draw the line?
No, but from what I heard, from what I saw from all the Napoli fans and all that I'm friends with and whatnot, they were mandated that they could not leave. So if 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 you're mandated that by the government, by the state, whatever it is, that you cannot get on a plane, go to Torino to play this game, the league they have to give some leeway on that. Because I mean, sure, Christian thinks one thing, I have the other thing. You don't know at the end of the day because fucking sure they could have recommended it, but they also could have had the mandate where you're getting into legal problems if you go to Torino as soon as you land in the city, you're gonna go to jail or you get this, you're gonna get fines out the ass. I don't know
So,
if that's the narrative. I don't agree with
so
anything that they did.
city officials didn't mandate them. I'm reading it right here. New agency NSA claims Napoli were not banned from traveling to Turin by local authorities, in which case Juventus should expect a 3-0 victory. there's a procedural row erupting, and it's not clear who is going to make the final decision. Blah blah. Pretty much, Napoli had not been banned from traveling to Turin by the authorities. I mean, it is what it is. I fucking hate Juve more than anybody else. But if they weren't banned from traveling, they had two players with a positive test. Zielinski and who was the other fuck? Elmas.
Yeah.
These two dudes were the only dudes that had it. All right. If it's just two players and they're crying about that while we have six players and we're still showing up to play the Milan derby, fuck off. Go fuck yourself, dude. We
Yeah,
still gotta
no,
play.
I agree 100%. If the case is that they
I,
weren't,
I don't feel bad for Napoli. Like, fuck off, dude. If we gotta
no,
play with six players, fuck you.
yeah,
Like, it is what
no,
it is.
I agree. If they were not mandated and they were recommended, I'd say you guys are a bunch of fucking idiots. What the fuck are you doing? Like you. But from what I've seen, that's the stance I took. I chose to take. I mean, we don't know because it's fucking telling me to. One day
That's
it's
it.
good, one day it's not. You know, one day they recommend it, one day it's mandated.
I think altogether Napoli were put in a hard position and they tried to maybe take an easy way out, but also Agnelli's an opportunistic snake who was sitting on his throne going, oh, fuck, if you're going to throw me a bone, man, I'm going to chew it until the end of this court case because that's just what I do, baby. And the result, he knew he was getting the 3-0 as soon as they didn't board for Turin. And he knows he can drag it out for a while because that's the kind of snake he is. But that's it, man.
It's Juve, but in the same sense, Napoli was stupid, bro. It's fucking Zielinski and Elmas. I understand Zielinski's a good player. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking that. But in the same fucking sense, man, come on, bro. Show the fuck up for the fucking game. Unless there's, like, legitimate proof that there's a mandate, according to what they're saying online, Napoli was just recommended to not travel. And the reason they didn't want to travel was because Gattuso was on lockdown, and who else? I think Insigne. Was it Insigne and the Gattuso that were both put on lockdown, so they didn't want to travel without the two of them and Zielinski? Like, don't get me wrong. I get it. They're two big pieces, but fuck off, dude. We got Ashley Young. We got Bastoni, Skriniar.
This is before our players tested positive, though. So they probably thought that they could get away with it, but then the leagues just said, like, no, we need to set a precedent here. Otherwise, everybody's going to start doing that from now on in, and we don't have time to waste, which is what make that international break all the more useless. We've got business to take care of here. We're already behind.
Yeah, but you also got to remember a lot of countries a lot of confederations are starting to get the World Cup qualifying going. So either way, you're gonna cluster fuck the fucking the schedules one way or another.
Yeah.
So
Fair
at the end of the day, FIFA overrides UEFA.
Yeah, they do, and it's the only thing they can.
FIFA overrides UEFA, who overrides FIGC. So no matter what, it was gonna get played.
Fair enough, bro. All right, we'll leave it at that before we get too sidetracked, and I'll just speak to these boys another time and make sure that you all have access to that. Christian Rivas, thank you. Hopefully we chat again post-derby with a big dub.
I hope so, too.
Cheers, man. Mario, all the best, bro. Ciao, brother. And, yeah, hopefully a big win coming.
Take it easy, Ericsson FC.
Always. Sempre. Ciao.